Hello to the first semester students of BCom KLS GCC. This is Professor Deepa Sangankar dealing with financial accounting. In the previous class, we were studying with the third unit, that is in terms of farm accounting, and we have studied the meaning of farm accounting. We have also studied with the features of farm accounting. Okay, and today we'll be dealing with different types of farm transaction. Now there are different transactions, farm transactions being made. That is, you have cash transaction, credit transaction, exchange transaction, and notional transaction. Okay, so what is this cash transaction, credit transaction, and all? We'll check it out in the next slides. So cash transaction. What is this cash transaction? Now cash transaction involves all the cash receipts and all the cash payments being made for relating to farm transactions. Okay, any cash receipts or cash payments being made relating to the farm, then in that case it is nothing but cash transactions being done. Okay, so cash payment and cash receipts are being recorded into are being considered as cash transactions which are relating to farming itself, which are the transactions which are relating to farm. Cash receipts and cash payment are considered as cash transactions. Now what is this credit transaction? All the credit transactions, that is receipts and payment of cash agreed to be paid in future, are recorded into credit transaction. Now what credit transactions is nothing but you are agreeing to pay or receive in future, then in that case those transactions are called as credit transactions. You either have future receipts or future payments being done for cash of cash, then that is called as future transactions. Credit transactions. What is the exchange transaction? Now exchange is nothing but the exchange that takes place between the farms, that is between the two farmers. Okay, now the exchange takes place between the farms, that is, for example, exchange of animal labor to human labor. Instead of using animal labor, you're using human labor in the same farm, then that is called as exchange of transaction. Instead of using animal, you're using the human labor and having the work being done, then that is called as exchange transaction. Another example is exchange of labor from one farm to another farm. You're using the same human force, same labors from one farm to another farm. Okay, they have cultivated in one land, one farm. Now they have to cultivate to another land. That is called as exchange of transaction. That is, you are exchanging labor from one farm to another farm. Exchange of seeds for output. That is, one farmer is exchanging seeds from one farm to another farm. That is called as exchange of transaction. All right. Next one, that is notional transaction. Now what is this notional transaction? Notional transactions are those that take place between the members of the owner's family and the farm, viewing the farm as an independent entity. Okay, now here as an farmer, he is using his own farm for the farming activities. In this, the farmer uses his own farm in having cultivation being done, and whatever is being cultivated from that land is being used for consumption. That is called as notional transaction. Now here the farmer is viewing that the farm is an independent entity. Okay, so it is not, it is like it doesn't consume whatever food grains are being cultivated, or it is depending on the farmer. So here the farmer is considering that the farm is independent entity, and that's how he, whatever is being cultivated into the land that has been consumed by the farmer, he uses his own household capital for cultivation. Okay, provide labor force, that is, he provides his own family members as the labor for cultivation, and whatever output has been cultivated by the from the land has been used for consumption by the family members. Okay, so here notional transactions are nothing but the owner considers the farm as an independent entity, and whatever expenses or whatever output has been earned by that from that particular land has been output is whatever output has been cultivated from that particular land has been consumed by the farmer and his family. So that is nothing but notional capital. So we have studied with the uh, mm, four kinds of farm transaction. First one is in case of cash transaction. Second is in case of credit transaction. Third is in case of exchange transaction, wherein the exchange takes place between the farms. That is, one labor has been exchanged for another labor, or seeds are being exchanged from one farm to another. That is called as exchange transaction. Next comes is the notional transaction. Let's go for the next one, that is books of accounts maintained by the farmer for registration. I'll just correct it over here. Books of accounts maintained by the farmer for farm accounting. So that is called as that is the books that are being maintained by the farmer for farm accounting. Okay, so which are the different books that the farmer maintains for farm accounting? First one is the cash book. Now, what is this cash book? Now, we normally know cash book is nothing but where you have receipts and payment of cash. That is, all the receipts of cash are being recorded and payment of cash are being recorded into this book. So here, even the farmer records all the cash receipts and cash payment regarding the farm activities are being maintained into this particular book. That is, all the receipts of cash and all the payment of cash are being recorded into the cash book, which are relating to the farm activities. Okay, next one, that is debtors register. Now, what is this debtors register? The records which are that is credit transactions made by the farmer, that is whatever credit sales he has given on credit. Okay, he has to receive that particular money. He has made credit sales, he has sold the goods on credit. Okay, so that money is to be received, and the person who is supposed to pay that particular money is nothing but the debtor. Okay, so here he maintains the debtors register, by which he gets to know how much is the credit sales. Okay, he gets to know what is the amount of money to be received. Okay, what is the amount of credit transactions that are made by the farmer with his debtors. This is what he gets to know from the debtors register. Next comes the creditors register. Now, what is this creditors register? This is nothing but the credit that has been taken by the farmer, whatever he has purchased in credit. Okay, then that comes in case of credit register. Okay, so for example, if there is any credit purchase being made, then that will be recorded into the credit register. To record all the credit transactions made by the farmer with his creditor, though, that is, for example, his credit purchase, are recorded into this particular register. That is, if he has given on credit, then that is debtors register. But if he has taken on credit, okay, if he has purchased goods on credit, then he becomes then the person whom he is supposed to pay is a creditor. Okay, so he has to pay that particular money, so that is recorded into the credit register. Okay, I hope you have understood the difference between the debtors register and the creditors register. Debtors register is wherein the farmer has to pay the money, and credit register is wherein the farmer has to I'm sorry, debtors register is the register where the farmer has to pay the money. Okay, I mean receive the money, and creditors register is wherein the farmer has to pay that particular money. In debtors register, he has to receive the money, and in creditors register, he has to pay that particular money. All right. Next one, stock register. Now, stock is nothing but wherein it tells you regarding how much is the stock of goods, how much is the closing balance of stock, and so on. So when you record stock register, it tells you what is the amount of input and output of stock, how much is the sale being made, what was the amount of stock being ordered, how much is the stock which is remaining, with the farmer. Okay, what is the amount of stock that is registered, that is there with the farmer, that will be understood by the stock register. So it tells you regarding the input and output of sales. It tells you regarding the sale, how much is the amount of sales being made, okay, to what extent is the sales being done, what is the output of it, what is the input of sales, that is what was the opening stock, and how much is the closing stock. That is what you get to know from the sales register. You also get to know what is the amount of wastage of stock, okay, to what extent the stock has been wasted. Suppose from 100 goods, okay, if 10 goods are being wasted, then he can analyze what is the reason as to why there is 10 products which are being wasted. Okay, what is the reason, how best it can be utilized in the next stage. Okay, so this is how stock register has been maintained, wherein the stock register tells you regarding the input and output of sales. It tells you as to what is the amount of wastage of stock, what is the amount of closing stock, what is the amount of opening stock. Okay, this is what you get to know from the sales register. Next comes as the fixed asset register. Now, as I told you in the previous class, that fixed register is nothing but, the farmer has fixed asset which hardly you find any depreciation being given. For example, land. Now, land, you normally don't find depreciation for it. You always find appreciation for it. Okay, so with the help of fixed register, you can record or get to know what is the amount of fixed assets that the farmer is having, number of fixed assets that the farmer is having, has he given depreciation, appreciation for it. Okay, balance of asset is been known when you maintain the fixed asset register. So with the help of fixed asset register, you get to know what is the amount of fixed assets, number of fixed assets maintained by the farmer, what is the amount of depreciation been given, what is the amount of appreciation. Most of the time you do not record appreciation, but where has the farmer given depreciation onto the asset or not, that will be known. And what is the amount of balance of asset, if there is any purchase of asset been done during the year, or if there is any sale of asset been done during the year. Okay, so this you get to know from the fixed asset register. So what is the balance of assets, you get to know from the fixed asset register. Next comes loan register. Now, loan register tells you regarding the details of number of loans being taken by the farmer. Okay, these days you find farmers, since the agricultural land is based on climatic condition, so you find farmers taking more amount of loan for cultivation and having the cultivation being done and having the land being cultivated. Okay, so since to grow the land, to fertilize the land, or to cultivate the land, he requires some amount of money. Okay, the farmer requires some amount of money. So he gets that particular money in the form of loan, he collects it in the form of loan. Okay, so if there is any loan being taken, then he will get to know that what is the amount of loan. Okay, what are the details of that particular loan, that is how much is the loan being paid, what is the amount of loan pending, what is the interest being paid. Okay, how much is the amount of interest, what is the balance of that particular loan. Okay, when is the loan being taken, is the interest being paid duly, or is it being paid after the due date. Okay, that has been understood with the help of loan register. So it tells you the details of all particular loan, what is the amount of interest to be paid, how much is the loan being taken. Okay, what is the amount of interest being charged. Okay, that is the details of the loan will be understood with the help of loan register. Notional transaction register. Okay, now notional transaction register is maintained for making a record of transaction between the farm and farm household. Okay, so as I told you, in notional transaction you consider farm to be as an independent entity. So any transactions which are being made between the farm and the farm household, that is between the farm and the owner of the farm, then in that case it is called as notional transaction. Cost analysis register. Cost analysis register is nothing, cost is nothing but an expense. Okay, so what are the expenses incurred in farming? That is what you get to know from cost analysis register. So for keeping records of each farming activity is in order to know the profit of each activity. Okay, so here cost analysis register tells you or analyzes what is the amount of cost, what are the amount of expenses being done. Okay, what is the amount of profit, how much is the sale, how much is the, I mean, how much is the profit being earned, what is the amount of expenses being done for cultivating. Okay, after cultivating, what is the output, what is the amount of profit. That is what you get to know from cost analysis. So basically cost analysis help you in understanding the expenses incurred on cultivation, expenses being made on cultivation, what is the amount of profit that they are earning, that the farmer is earning by cultivating a given period, a given land. Okay, based on that, what is the expenses that he's making on that particular, on cultivating that particular land. This is what he gets to know when he records the cost analysis. So basically there are different books that the farmer maintains. Among that, we have studied cash book, debtors register, creditors register, stock register, fixed asset register, loan register, notional transaction register, and cost analysis register. I hope you have understood this particular class. In the next class, we'll start with the next aspect. Thank you.